The Dutch Shepherd, a breed known for its intelligence, loyalty, and unwavering work ethic. These dogs are not just pets, they are partners, companions, and protectors. Their sharp minds and keen instincts make them exceptional in various roles, from police work to search and rescue, and even as therapy dogs. These dogs possess an intensity that sets them apart, a fire that burns bright in their eyes. It's a fire that drives them to excel, to push boundaries, and to face challenges head-on. Their energy is palpable, a force that can be both inspiring and intimidating. But fire, untamed, can become a destructive force. Without proper guidance and training, their intensity can turn into aggression, their energy into chaos. It's a delicate balance, one that requires patience, understanding, and a firm but gentle hand. This is the story of one such dog, a Dutch Shepherd named Rex, and our journey together. A journey that would test my skills as a trainer and my patience as a human being. It was a journey that would teach me as much about myself as it would about Rex. Rex was a magnificent specimen, a tapestry of brindle and gold. His coat shimmered in the sunlight, a blend of colors that seemed almost otherworldly. He was a picture of strength and beauty, a true representation of his breed. His muscles rippled beneath his short coat, and his dark eyes held a depth that was both captivating and unsettling. There was a wildness in his gaze, a hint of something untamed and primal. It was clear that Rex was not just any dog, he was a force of nature. There was an undeniable power in his presence, a raw energy that hinted at the storm brewing beneath the surface. It was a power that needed to be harnessed, channeled into something positive. But that was easier said than done. From the moment I met Rex, I sensed trouble. There was a tension in the air, a feeling that something was not quite right. It was as if Rex was constantly on edge, ready to explode at any moment. His owner, a kind but clearly overwhelmed woman named Sarah, struggled to control him. She loved Rex dearly, but it was obvious that she was in over her head. She had tried everything she could think of, but nothing seemed to work. He lunged at passing cars, barked incessantly at strangers, and even growled at Sarah when she tried to leash him. His behavior was erratic and unpredictable, a sign of deeper issues that needed to be addressed. This was not the behavior of a well-adjusted dog. This was a dog in distress, a dog that needed help. It was clear that Rex was struggling, and his behavior was a cry for help. This was a dog on the verge, a hair's breadth away from disaster. The tension in his body, the wild look in his eyes, all pointed to a dog that was barely holding it together. It was a precarious situation, one that required immediate attention. I knew then that our work would be challenging, but I never shy away from a challenge. I was determined to help Rex, to give him the guidance and support he needed. It would be a long and difficult road, but I was ready to walk it with him. I could see the fear in Sarah's eyes, the desperation for help. She was at her wit's end, and she needed someone to step in and take control. I promised her that I would do everything in my power to help Rex, to bring out the best in him. And in Rex's eyes, I saw a flicker of hope, a longing for guidance. Beneath the aggression and the chaos, there was a dog that wanted to be understood, a dog that wanted to be loved. It was a small glimmer, but it was enough to give me hope. Our journey was just beginning, and I was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Rex's aggression, like most behavioral issues in dogs, stemmed from a place of instability. His history was shrouded in mystery, passed from owner to owner, each ill-equipped to handle his demanding nature. He lacked consistency, boundaries, and most importantly, a sense of calm, assertive leadership. Dogs, especially powerful breeds like Dutch Shepherds, crave structure. They need a leader who sets clear rules and enforces them with unwavering consistency. Without it, they become anxious, confused, and ultimately prone to aggression. Sarah had enrolled Rex in obedience classes, hoping to curb his unruly behavior. But traditional training methods, often reliant on treats and praise, had little effect on Rex. He saw through the bribes, his primal instincts overriding any desire to please. The day the attack happened began like any other. The sun was just beginning to rise, casting a golden hue over the yard. Birds chirped melodiously, and the air was crisp and fresh. It was a picture-perfect morning, one that gave no hint of the chaos that was about to unfold. We were working with Rex in a controlled environment, a spacious yard with a high fence. The yard was designed to be a safe space for training, with plenty of room for Rex to run and play, yet secure enough to prevent any unexpected escapes. Sarah was present, her anxiety palpable, but her determination to help Rex unwavering. She had been with us through every step of Rex's training journey, her love for him evident in every worried glance and every encouraging word. We were making progress, small victories in our efforts to establish dominance and instill calmness. Rex had started responding to commands, and there were moments when he seemed almost serene. It felt like we were finally turning a corner, that all our hard work was beginning to pay off. Then, it happened. A delivery truck rumbled past the house, its engine roaring like a territorial challenge. The sound was jarring, a sudden intrusion into our peaceful morning. It was as if the truck's presence had flipped a switch in Rex's mind. Rex's body tensed, his growl a low rumble that vibrated through the ground. His eyes locked onto the truck, and I could see the transformation in his demeanor. The calm, obedient dog we had been working with was gone, replaced by a creature driven by instinct and aggression. Before I could intervene, Rex exploded. His muscles coiled like a spring, and in an instant he was a blur of motion. The ferocity of his attack was shocking, a stark contrast to the progress we had been making. He lunged at the fence, a frenzy of barking and snapping. The high fence that had once seemed so secure now felt like a flimsy barrier against his rage. His barks were deafening, each one a declaration of his intent to defend his territory. Sarah, in a moment of panic, reached out to try and calm him. Her voice was a mix of fear and desperation as she called his name, hoping to break through the red haze of his aggression. But Rex was beyond reason, his focus entirely on the perceived threat. That's when he redirected, his teeth sinking into her forearm with terrifying force. The sound of her scream pierced the air, a chilling reminder of the unpredictability of even the most well-trained animals. In that moment, all our progress seemed meaningless, overshadowed by the raw power of Rex's unleashed fury. The aftermath was a blur of adrenaline and action. The scene was chaotic, with emergency responders rushing to treat the injured, and onlookers reacting in shock and concern. The air was thick with tension, and the sight of Sarah's bandaged arm was a stark reminder of the severity of the situation. I immediately asserted myself, stepping between Rex and Sarah, my energy radiating calm but firm dominance. It was crucial to project confidence and control, to let Rex know that his behavior was unacceptable and that I was in charge. My heart pounded, but I knew that any sign of fear or hesitation could escalate the situation further. Rex, momentarily stunned by my intervention, backed down, his aggression replaced by confusion. His eyes darted around, trying to understand the sudden shift in dynamics. It was a pivotal moment, a brief window where his aggressive instincts were overridden by uncertainty. Sarah, thankfully, escaped with only minor injuries. She was shaken but physically unharmed, a small mercy in the midst of the chaos. The physical wounds would heal, but the emotional impact was another matter entirely. But the emotional scars ran deep. The fear and anxiety etched on Sarah's face were unmistakable. She had trusted Rex, believed in his potential for change, and now that trust was shattered. The bond they had been building was fractured, leaving her feeling vulnerable and uncertain. The trust she had been trying to build with Rex was shattered, replaced by fear and uncertainty. Every interaction with him now carried a weight of apprehension, a hesitation that hadn't been there before. The road to rebuilding that trust would be long and arduous. I knew then that this incident, as traumatic as it was, could be a turning point. It was a wake-up call, a stark reminder of the work that still needed to be done. We couldn't afford to ignore the underlying issues any longer. We needed to delve deeper, to understand the triggers that ignited Rex's fury and address the root cause of his aggression. It was about more than just managing his behavior. It was about uncovering the reasons behind it. What was it that made Rex lash out? What fears or insecurities were driving his aggression? This was not about punishment. Punishment would only reinforce his fear and aggression. Instead, we needed to focus on positive reinforcement, on rewarding good behavior and building a foundation of trust and respect. It was about rehabilitation, about guiding Rex towards a balanced and fulfilling life. With patience, consistency, and understanding, we could help him overcome his fears and learn to trust again. The journey would be challenging, but the reward, a happy, well-adjusted dog and a restored bond with Sarah, would be worth every effort.